So in today's lesson, we will do some blocks and partitions programming in Linux platform, then some mount and unmount tasks, then creating partitions, formatting partition using MKFS, and then we will conclude our task. So first, blocks and partitions. Before diving into the details of creating partitions and formatting them, let's kick things off with a review of blocks and partitions. Because first we have to know what's a block and partitions, because sometimes we just can't recognize for the cache memory and the main memory. These are those are two different terms we using in computer programming or in always. That's a block and partitions. So blocks are basically a layer of storage devices that allow individual access to each independent. They allow programs to access storage without worrying about whether the underlying hardware devices is a hard drive, solid state drive, flash drive, or anything else. In Linux, you can view block devices and file system attached to your system using the lsblk command. ls you already know, the list view, and the blk for the blocks. So lsblk command will show you the already existing blocks in your device, block devices in your machine. This command gathers information about all devices attached to the system and prints them out using a tree-like structure. To view the devices attached to your virtual machine, I am using now the lsblk command. Okay, so this is the command lsblk. Press enter. Okay. So there, this is the name HDA, HDA1, HDB, HDB1. So that is why the answer was if HDB1. I'm asking you that HDB1 which block name. So you have to give the answer that the major to one. That's when the major blocks, first subblocks name is HDB1. First blocks HDA and second block is HDB. So the subblock of HDA are named as HDA1, HDA2, etc. And subblocks of HDB are as follows: HDB1, HDB2, etc. So these are all blocks we're showing now. We can show now. So for the next, here you will see that your instance has two blocks device, as we already told you that. So first is HDB1 and HDBA, and second one is HDB. Optionally, you can view bricks mounted on the system using the df command. This command is normally used to display the amount of space available on the file system. It lists all block devices with the available space on them. Use the space -h option to display file sizes in human readable format. So let's try for the df space -h. So it will show all the partitions, all the blocks with their size, which are available and in use. Okay, so these are mounted or not. You can also see this. So coming to the next section, the partitioning section. Instead of using a storage block as a whole, it's common practice to divide a storage block into different partitions. Partitions can be different sizes and formatted to different file systems, like FAT32 or HDFSK. This allows you to use a single storage device for different purposes. You can display partition information using the fdisk command. You can also use the -l option to list partitions in the block. You can pass a device name of the fdisk command to list the partitions contained in that device. To list all partitions, use now we can use the fddisk space -l. So let's try for this. Okay. So now we can see all these are in front of our eyes. Okay. To list partition consent /dev /hdb plus /dev /hdb to the fdisk command. Okay, let's try for this. fdisk displays information contained in the partition table, where information about partition is stored, and the disk partition with fdisk. When fdisk command is used without option, it provides a menu-driven environment for creating and deleting option. So you have to just remember that modifying partition is destructive, as we already know this when we have done into the Windows version, and can lead to the lost data. So remember to always back up your data before modifying any partitions on your live system. So come to the next point, that is the mount and unmount. So mounting and unmounting mean making devices available or unavailable on a Linux file system, not in a Linux file system, but in also in your Windows or in your Android phone or Android OS. There is some option like mount and unmount your SD card in your mobile phone. So mount and unmount are basically to make some device available or unavailable on your system. This is accomplished by the commands mount and unmount. Before modifying a disk, you should first unmount it from the system using the unmount command. When modification of the on the disks are done, you should mount it back into the system. For this exercise, since the device is where partition is initially mounted, you can process with partition. So first go ahead and start fdisk in interactive mode by passing the name of the disk you want to partition. So we'll partition for today /dev /hda. So we'll go for the we'll go for sudo fdisk space /dev /hda. Enter. So changes will remain in memory only until you decide to write them. Be careful before using the write command. Command name for help. Okay. If this will start in interactive mode, you can use M to use L provided by the command. So okay, we will ask for help. So we type M, press enter, and there are some commands like generic commands like abc, toggle, boot, df, me, script, save and quit, create and new review. So now you can use P to show details about partition on the disk. Pressing P, and these are the details of the disk: dev, SDA, 10 TIB, bytes, sectors, and these are all the basic information about HDA. Then we can enter Q to exit interactive mode when you are finished exploring. So list for the quit mode Q. Then next we will go for the creating partitions. Remember that in Windows we have created some partitions tasks with just through some click and yes or uh, negotiation justification through control panel. But here in Linux format, Linux platform, we have to do all with our language or coding. So create partitioning, we will now create new partitions using FDs. We will partition the second drive into two partitions. So which is our second partition? SDB1. SDB actually, then the SDB1 is the subpartition or subblock of the HDB block. One swap partition of size 1 GB and another of size 9 GB because we have 10 GB available in our second block. The file system type on the second partition will be ext4. So if you want to know about the format, partitions format system type for the Windows machine and the Linux machine as well as for the Android machines, so you can go for the available links in our course module. So for now we will go for the code, which is the sudo fd /dev /hta. Okay. HTA. Okay. So changes will remain in memory only until you decide to write them. Be careful before using the write command. So in this case, we will not go for the N option. So to create a new partition, the command control N is used here. However, since N is representing the new, since all the space on the disk is currently allocated, you will need to first free up space by deleting the default partitions. Use the D command control to delete and default partition. When you issue the D command control, FDX asks you to enter the number of partitions you want to delete. Since you only have one partition, the default one, FDX will be automatically select and delete it to continue. So go for the D option. D option. Pressing the selected partition 1 has been deleted. If you have some more than one partitions are there, then therefore they will ask for the options which partition you want to delete, then 1 or 2 or 3, then you have to put the actual number, partition number. But in case here we have only one partition in the block, so the selected partition, obviously the one partitions 1 has been deleted. You are now able to create 4 new partitions. Enter the command control for creating a new partitions N. So FDX will present you with two options to select from: P for primary and E for extended or logical partition. Since we want to create the partitions on the actual physical disk, select P by pressing enter. Okay. Next, you will need to provide the partition number for the new partition. Since it's a primary partition, it can only be labeled from 1 to 4. It's good practice to assign partition numbers sequentially. Problems can sometimes arise with certain programs if partitions are not ordered sequentially. Give the number 1 to this first partition by pressing enter, or optionally enter 1. So go with the partition 1. Okay, so partition number is 1 to 4 for default one. Using default response key, just press enter. First sector default 204. So you will then need to provide the starting sector memory location of the new partition from where you want to allocate. Here press enter to select the default value 2048. Okay. Last sector, sector size KMGTP 2048. Okay. Provide the last sector of the new partition up to where you want to allocate. The difference between the first and last sectors makes up the total size of the partition. This sector represents units used to measure the size of on disks. Each sector stores a fixed amount of data. In lots of hard disks, for example, a sector stores 5 and 12 bytes. To create the first 1 GB partition, enter 2097200, divide the original partition by 10. So two important things happen here. The partition size is set to 1 GB and the partition type set to the Linux. You will see how to change partition types in the next section. One partition is now created. You will now move on the second one. Two 2097200. Okay. So select P for the primary. Sorry for the inconvenience. I think there was some server side problem. So coming to the next, before committing, the second partition is now created. So one, okay. We don't have just created second partition. We are now on our first partition option. So here. So created a new partition one of type Linux and of size 1023 MB. Two important things happen here. The partition size is set to 1 GB and the partition type is set to Linux, as I have already said to you. You will see how to change partition types in the next section. One partition is now created. You will now move on the second one. Use the command control N again for the new partition. So go for the N, P for primary, E for extended. Use the command control N for a new. Select P for a primary option, then select partition number 2 to issue partition number in sequence. So P stands for the primary, and then for 2 first sector. Okay. Select the default partition starting sector, which is the next sector from the last partition to allocate it. So that is the 2099200. Also select the default last sector, which will be the last sector of the remaining disk space. So basically here For the last one, what we have put it there. Not that much before. I think it was here. Okay. 2097 Okay. Say the default partition starting sector, which is the next sector from the last partition you allocated. So to last sector for default one, press enter. Okay. So also select the default last sector. Also help option is there. The second partition is now created. Before committing your changes, you will change the second partition to a different partition type. You will change the first partition type to a Linux swap type. Enter Command Control T to change the partition type and select the first partition. So go with the T option. Okay. Then 1. Okay, you can use the Command Control caps L to view a list of all partition types. So yes, you want to see this. And, okay. So these are the 82 to change the partition type to Linux Swap Solaris and press enter. Here's are some of the characters in the post partitions type in Linux Swap Solaris are too repeated. So 82, pressing 82. Okay. Change the partition type Linux Swap Solaris. Then the partition type will be changed to match the selection. Up to this point, you have just been editing the partition table in memory. You can use the Q command here to quit fdisk without commenting changes to the disk. You can also update your partitions by adding the D and N commands, that is the delete and new commands to remove and add new partitions. You can also use the V command here to verify your changes before proceeding. So if you are satisfied with the changes you have made so far, you can commit then to the disk by using the W command. So okay, we will go for the V command. Pressing V, remaining unallocated. Okay. So yes, we are actually satisfied. So we go for the WFC. Then you have successfully partitions the second disk using FDs. The second disk device is now made up of two partitions of 1 GB and 9 GB respectively. So next we will go for the formatting partitions using MKFS. Here you will create different file systems in the partitions you just created. You will do this by using the command mkfs in Linux. Multiple file system types exist and it's important to know all of them. Among the functions they are best suited for. In this lab, you will format the second partition into extended 4 or ext4, the most widely used Linux file system type. To do this, use lsblk, that is the list block, again to find the disk you want to create the file system type in. Okay, so again ms okay. So format the second partition in your unmounted drive that is HTTP2 or HTA2 to extend it for using this command. Okay, sudo space mkfs space -t space extend 4 space ht slash dev slash the drive the block what we want to format or delete. So here we go for the HDA2 HDA2. Okay, okay, so we have done second partition in your unmounted drive. You can now mount /f /hd2 to a location on the file system to start accessing files on it. Mount it on the directory /home/my drive. So we have to go for this command sudo space mount space /dev slash the drive number and then the directory path. So here we just are going a little bit far. We are there just a little bit far. So this will be SDA2. SDA2. Okay. Pressing enter. Okay. Student sudo sudo mount dev drive medium. Okay. Done writing in inode tables. Okay. So these are the inode basically. Getting journal. Okay. 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 So from now on, accessing home, my drive will be accessing files on the disk. That's it. Then you have successfully partitioned and formatted a disk. Obviously in Linux platform. Previously we have done all this same in our Windows platform. Not the last one. This is actually simple in our Windows format or Windows devices. Just copy or paste, copy and paste, or cut and paste, or just move to options. So this was for today. Congratulations. We have already know how to access the virtual machine blocks and partitioning, how it will be done, mount and unmount tasks, creating partitions, formatting partitions using MKFS. So this was for today. Thank you.